dude.
Scooty, have you heard about this cold streak that I'm on?
I have seen it on the socials a little bit, but I haven't heard much about it.
I'm telling you, for Scooty, I said it on my Twitter. They should do a 30 for 30 documentary on how cold of a gambler I am. It is.
Trust me, Scooty. My bank account knows this. This is facts.
From the minute and it's off the tip off. You know, a lot of these games, they're fun. Same thing with March Madness. We know going into it, we're gonna lose money. It's just
We
the way.
always
We always lose. We know we're gonna lose. I will pay for the experience when I wager on sports. I'm paying for the experience. I have gambled long enough to know we're just not gonna win. Okay, house always wins. I do it for the experience. I really do, and me still thinking that I do have a shot to win money. But is it not great just watching a game, March Madness, whatever it is, and just really getting into something like that?
Yes, which leads me to say I didn't even get to watch any of the games that we lost.
That's even worse.
That's the worst, dude. So for the people listening, what Robbie did is he said, "I'm gonna get us an account back because it's March Madness." I was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna bet this year." He's like, "No, we're betting.
You have to.
Yeah, well, I agree.
Well, actually, I'll stop you there. The reason I actually did that was because my March was over before it began, to where my bracket was busted so early. I said to you, Scooty, I was devastated just because my March Madness was over after day one.
Yeah, we watched that Ohio State game, and it was just a wrap real quick.
did.
Oh,
We
tell
did.
me. But again, at least you got to watch it. I was at work the whole weekend, and Robbie just calls me, goes, "Oh, I got bets on this, and that."
Well, but we're in it together. We're a partnership.
Yeah, but you have to consolidate with your partner before you just fire out bets at will.
Yeah, well, you know what the thing is? He's at work, and you want the action. I mean, you want the game in, game out, to where now we're at a part with the tournament where first day's fine because it's rapid fire games. Every, 25 minutes there's a new game on. But now, Sweet 16, you want the action everywhere. I mean, you got to have
Yeah,
the
but
action.
you can't force the action.
I force the action.
You
I
bet
force the
every
action.
game. And
Well,
half the games I was at work, I couldn't even watch, so I'm just checking my phone at halftime. I'm like, oh, we're down 10.
Do you know what you hate that everybody hates?
Yeah, the under.
I love the under.
Well, trust me. Is that not ridiculous?
Who is this guy?
I absolutely
This is the guy who
love
in
an
life
under.
cheers for a game, for the entire game, for nothing to happen.
I'm with you, Cold Cuts, on
That's
if you can't watch the game and you bet on it, there's no value there if you don't win.
No,
At least
and
you
it's
get
like
your money's worth.
Yeah, it'd be
type
like
of thing.
going to a restaurant. I order a T-bone
Totally,
steak.
totally.
I come to take a bite and I walk away and I don't even get a doggy bag.
You're paying for the experience, and you're right. I don't.
Yeah, so it's one. Listen, don't get me wrong. It's one thing if you're hitting your bets. If you're hitting the bets and you want to just let me know halfway through rapid fire, hey Cutsy, just letting you know, we just won $400 on a parlay. Fuck yeah, let's go.
Do you know? But do you know what? At the same time, too, is when we're taking you notice if you win a game, if you win a bet, okay, dinner tastes better that night.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Same dinner, same thing, same place. It tastes better that night. And especially when you go to Las Vegas, you have plans throughout your trip in Las Vegas to where if you're losing, you don't want to go to the Bellagio and see the water fountain.
No.
You know
True
what I mean?
story, actually. I was in Vegas with a couple buddies, and they had paid for us to do those helicopter rides that go over the entire Vegas and Red Rock and all that stuff. I was in the middle of a craps run, and I didn't even have to pay for the helicopter ride. It was paid. And they're like, okay, it's time to catch the helicopter. And I go, no. Go without me.
But you were doing bad, no? You didn't.
I was doing bad. I was doing real bad.
Yeah, yes.
I don't want to go on a helicopter and watch all my money being spent.
But now, on the contrary, what you also have is if you're winning, you want to go to the Bellagio. You
Oh,
want to see the fountain.
You want to hear Sinatra in the
Yeah,
background.
you want to talk to the people on the streets. They're doing. You want to go to, you want to see Celine Dion.
Life
all of a
seems to
sudden.
stand still when you're winning bets.
Great. Everything's great.
When you're up money, Scooty, life seems to stand still. It's like you've cheated the system.
But to the point where it's like you don't want to make plans in Las Vegas because it all depends how you're doing. Where you should almost see how you're doing. Am I wrong, Scoot?
I mean, I hope your plane ride isn't more than a couple hours if you lose, because that's just the longest flight of all time.
Of all time.
I've had to drive back from Vegas.
Oh,
after
drive
losing.
is
I won't do it
worse.
again.
I've never been closer closer to stopping off to the desert and never turning back.
But even that, I drove home after winning, and I got home from Vegas.
Turning and burning?
I said, the drive really isn't that bad. No. The sun sets on. It's it's a soothing drive.
Turning and burning, baby.
Yeah,
You got Billy Joel playing in the radio, windows down.
Oh,
you feel
yeah.
like $1 million.
You go from Vegas to LA on that drive after losing. That 4-hour trip just turned into 16
You go to
hours.
Hertz and you say, upgrade me to the convertible.
Oh, it is brutal. But back to the unders. And by the way, folks, we didn't even start off. We just started ripping. You're listening here to the Only Dumb Show. Joey Cold Cuts, our right-hand man here of the show, friend of the program here in the house tonight. We got Scooty Wilson, the new guy, wheeling and dealing behind the glass. That's our guy. Scooty, welcome to the program,
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Love to have you. But back what I was saying with the under, okay? I feel for the under. First off, time's on your side, okay? Let me take that back.
You're saying the opposite.
When you're betting on the under, you're winning right out of the gate. You're always winning. All the ticks are working.
That makes no sense.
You're always winning. I love
that is the
betting on.
dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Do you get where I'm going with this, though,
He's saying-
Scooty?
well, no, because it's all relative. So at the start of the game, the projection of the game is 0 points.
Correct, but from the opening tip, the time is ticking, and I'm winning at that time. Even if they score a bucket, technically I'm still winning to where it's a race to get to that. I love watching that clock tick.
But
I love
now
seeing
the
people-
opposite is there's times where you are more than halfway through, and the under's already looking dead because there's so many points. You have nothing to cheer for.
That's tough.
So
Yeah.
you've lost your bet. You can't even root for the game in the second half because what's the point? You're going to lose the bet, so you're not cheering for points. That's the worst. Now, if it's the flip side, if there's hardly any points scored and you bet the over, you can cheer, you can
Right.
get into the game, every score, you're riled up. Like, that gets you more motivated because you're cheering for the points. The over can always hit, too.
Well, you know what?
The over is the back door.
The overs. Well, the thing with the over is you always got overtime in the back of your
The
head.
over is the free throw at the end of the basketball game. It's the empty net in the hockey.
But you always got overtime in the back of your head. Scooty Wilson actually said something that I found interesting. Scooty, now I try and get into hockey. I can't really get into
You
it.
should. It's the best.
What Scooty does is he bets on hockey. He takes the -1.5 for whatever team, so the favorite to win by 2 goals or more, and then you get the empty net at the end.
Just to clear up the whole hockey thing, because it seems like a random thing to bet on. That's what I played growing up, so I feel
Fair.
like I got some knowledge on
Fair,
hockey.
fair.
I'm not
Scooty
coming in hot
Yeah.
betting on the hockey. I feel like
Yeah.
I know it the
That's
best.
like the try-hard gambler comes in tonight. I'll be betting on the National Lacrosse
right.
League.
Please,
Get
yeah.
the fuck out of here. Who's betting on lacrosse?
It's either that or you're a degenerate and you got nothing else to gamble on other than the hockey game at 10:30 p.m. in Vancouver.
And you know what? I'm glad you clarified that, Scooty, because the listeners probably like, listen to this degenerate here betting
Right.
on hockey. Scooty Wilson does have some hockey in his day.
I also
and-
have some degeneracy too, and that's fine.
Now you take the one
You can
minus.
accept it.
You
Yeah.
take the -1.5 goals. Okay. And what's interesting about this, which I kind of like, near the end of the game, you always get that thought: if you're up 1 goal, you're getting an empty net.
Yeah.
So is that a bit of an adrenaline rush?
I mean, it's the biggest adrenaline rush I think there is in gambling. You got that gaping net at the end of the ice, and they're trying to score a G note on you, and you're just firing the biscuit down to the end of the rink.
I mean, yeah, hockey's great though, dude. You got into it at the playoffs last year. You're getting out over the Islanders.
I mean, cold cuts tell him there's nothing like playoff hockey.
No, there's not. And you know what? I told him this when we were on our road trip. I told him, ESPN, they always play at the start of the highlights on Sports Center. They play like basketball highlights right out of the gate or something like that, or football. In Canada, it's the opposite. So the first set of highlights are all hockey.
Yeah.
But-
Are they different anchors, or is it the same?
Yeah, it's different anchors.
But that's
It's
going to change. That's going to change in the States too, because ESPN just picked up the NHL contract, so you're going to see a lot more Austin Matthews and Connor McDavid
Well, that's
coming
good
in
because
soon.
it should. But the hockey is always the start. So, like, if I want to watch a Canucks, highlights, I know if I turn on the hour at like 8:00 or at 8:30, chances are that's the first highlight coming on.
You know what? It's almost too like the NHL just kind of like threw up the white flag and like they never promote. You imagine seeing like anything NHL promoting on any.
You never
major
see
network?
anything. They're so bad at marketing their stars. They got Gary Bettman's got
sad.
to take a hike.
They kind of got in a way the MLB disease because MLB can't do that either.
Exactly.
Nobody knows anybody in the MLB.
And I will say right now that hockey right now has the best generational talent in maybe the last decade or
Absolutely.
more.
Well,
With Connor McDavid,
Cold cuts.
if he cannot be getting Chunky's, Campbell's soup or something, and it's like Dak Prescott, like what a world we live in.
Cold Cuts has a guy who I have never heard of, and he uses it for his touchpad, his iPhone screen. Like he does 3 different players' numbers. He's the only guy that I've seen an iPhone touchscreen be named after his favorite hockey player.
I don't want to give away Cold Cuts' his passcode here, but
Well, they don't
There's
know
two
the, they don't
numbers.
know
You
the
got
combination.
You
No,
got,
there's 3.
Well, yeah, you got three combos. You got 3 different players.
Yeah.
But you named it after a hockey player called the Russian Rocket. I've never heard.
giving away big details right now.
Yeah, he's 2 numbers. It's 2 out of the 6.
No, my phone password is it's in no specific order. Somebody's gonna hack into my phone next time. It's Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and Pavel Bure. Their numbers. That's
Somebody
my
gets in your
passcode.
phone right now. What are you worried about?
Not much.
What are you worried about?
No, not much.
Nothing
really.
at all.
No, I don't. I think I'm pretty squeaky clean. Actually, yeah, I'm okay. I think I'm okay.
I'll chime in from the back booth. Sophie Julia took my phone to like share stuff on the iCloud.
This is great.
And,
Go
and
ahead.
I was in a heavy panic a little bit.
Do you know what's amazing?
I was in a heavy panic.
Yeah, and I got
What are
news.
you worried?
I
she's
don't
gonna
have
find?
anything, Cold Cuts, but it's just like, who knows what could be on there?
Well, yeah.
Like I
think I have
actually have
anything,
some
but-
stuff on my phone I wouldn't want to get out.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think we all do to some degree, but you know, if anybody takes your piece of technology, even the laptop is even scarier in the sense of it's just a bigger screen, it's more information.
Well, I always feel like the laptop's harder to break into for some reason.
No question about it. But it's not even a matter of breaking into. Somebody has to use your phone, immediately people panic because you got everything in there.
Yeah, you said bigger screen, bigger hard drive, and like a lot more internet history too.
Yeah, that's
A lot
true,
more
too. You got-
bandwidth.
Yeah.
Porn searches are going to come rolling up
Oh,
on there
popping up.
for sure.
Oh,
So everybody
porn
to some
searches.
degree, yeah. Look, you got.
Is that like if you click your Safari or your Google Chrome and you come to like type something with one of the letters and the first suggestion that comes out of the gate is a porn site? And you're like, what have I been
now? How
doing with
often
my...
will you clear that thing out, Cutsy? Because you got to.
You got to clear the cookies.
You got, every now and then you
Gotta
got to
clear the cookies.
Hey, you got to clear
Cookies
you
and
gotta clear a
cachet.
couple-
Yes,
That's
they
what we
should
need.
make
Yeah,
that
what-
the
by
next
the way,
like
what is-
Dunkin' Donuts
Yeah,
flavored.
what does cachet mean?
I have no idea, but I'm
nobody
clearing it all
knows.
day.
I thought
Nobody
it was
knows.
cash. Is it cachet?
Yeah, I think it's cachet. I think it's French for storage.
Gotta add a little flair on the end.
It might actually be
Yeah,
French
you
for
see,
storage.
you see cachet. Get the fuck
Right.
out of there.
Yeah.
Get the fuck. How often you clean?
Get that
how-
cachet out of my fucking way.
Yeah, how often should you be cleaning out your phone?
We
You-
should ask. I don't know. I mean, I'm
guess
a
it-
single guy. I don't have anything to prove. So
I guess it's a matter of how many times you jerk off.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think phone is different than your computer.
phone is worse. Phone
I don't
is
clean.
worse.
I don't clean the phone.
What do you mean you don't clean the phone?
I don't clean the phone.
Never.
You're talking about
Never.
physically or storage wise?
Both. Yeah.
You got to clean the phone sometime. You got to get the disinfectant wipes or
Can,
something.
can we ask Sophie that?
What's it? Yeah. Okay.
Sophie, can you
Yeah.
come on?
Yeah.
How many times do girls clear their phone?
Clear or clean? I thought we were talking about clean.
Clean their phone history wise. Do girls ever have to clean their phone
What does that mean? Like,
history wise?
Like remove history so people can't see what you're looking at.
Google searches and stuff.
I mean the Instagram search.
Yeah,
where you're
that's too-
searching like the guy's ex-girlfriends and like the guy, yeah, like things like that. You clear the Instagram search, but besides that, like I don't clear conversations. There's no like Google search history.
You ever go onto somebody's phone and go to type something in there, like a guy's phone, and it's porn that pops up?
No, but I was on a first date and I used his phone to show him something on Google and I pulled up his internet and what was searched was Sophie Julia. And then
Oh,
and then I
Jesus.
X'd, he like turned bright red and I went to X out of it and the tab under that said Sophie Julia vlogs. Like he was literally Googling me before and I was like, it's okay. I Googled you too, but I was lying.
Yeah, and I don't, I don't blame you. The Google search is definitely taking it a step above.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Well, Sophie, we appreciate you. See, this
Love
is-
you. I'm going
Sophie,
home.
we love you
Poor
too.
girl
You too.
wants to go home.
Yeah,
Oh,
Sophie,
I
we'll-
wanna
and
go.
Yeah,
home.
let the
Bobby
girl
is
out.
dragging her out.
All right, Soph. Thank you,
Poor
Soph.
girl. You know, she's done her 10-hour day, Bob.
Moving right along here on the Brilliant Dumb Show, ladies and gentlemen. Another thing I want to touch on while I got you here, Cold Cuts, is every now and then you get it. Okay, we go outside. We go out to play golf this morning. The two of us, Rancho Park.
It's the worst, no?
Rancho Park, we know that we're going to get matched up with somebody. The place is a zoo, okay? Very, very rarely do you get matched with the guy who's just a jackass. And the guy that we were with this morning was a true jackass. And if you're a jackass on the golf course, you're a jackass in real life.
It's the same reason that people don't like to cheer for guys like Patrick Reed. There's some people on the course who just take it too far. They don't really give what you're looking for when you're out there. And you try to like give them accolades or do something, and they're just
but
you see what I'm saying?
No, but a lot of the thing with Patrick Reed that he gets shit is his cheating. I'm talking about a guy.
Well, no, he's not to be a fun guy on the course.
Yeah, well, that's true. Dustin Johnson doesn't speak.
Yeah.
Do you know I actually know a guy who played around with Dustin Johnson, and he said, honest to God, he did not speak.
The entire round.
It was Dustin Johnson and his brother. They went really nice golf course. They went the entire round. He said, honest to God, he might have said 2 words. And you know what? You watch Dustin Johnson, I believe it.
But you probably wouldn't mind. You probably just sit back and watch
I would
him.
like that.
Just watch
Yeah.
him play the whole round would be a treat.
But I would like to have conversation with
yeah,
him.
you'd like him to give you a little bit more. But maybe
Yeah.
he's going for the course record.
I mean, shit, he's already gone for enough of those. There's no question
But
about
yeah,
that.
to get back to what Bobby was saying today, the guy in the course was just. I remember on the second or third hole, he actually made a really good long putt to the point where when you're making a long putt, you're just trying to get it close enough that you know the second putt is a gimme.
Yeah.
He put it almost in the hole. So I go to him, I go, "Hey, good hole, man, or good putt, bud." And he looks and he goes, "Remember?" He goes, "It's only good if it goes in."
And you
It's
know
just
what?
so not necessary, dude.
And there was no. I was waiting to see him laugh or smile. No, he was dead serious, and he walked off. And another thing, when I'm putting, not to be a prick, but when I'm putting, yeah, maybe it was for bogey or double bogey. Don't walk off the.
Oh, he walked off a bunch of
A couple times on me.
he did not want to see another Bobby stroke.
Yeah, had I been putting for birdie or par.
Wait, the last
which
thing,
wasn't,
and I think the most obnoxious thing, and I don't know if this ever happened to you before, folks, is the guy's about to swing on the tee box, and me and Bobby are standing well behind him,
this is
not doing
unbelievable.
anything. And the guy's about to swing. He looks back and he goes, "Hey boys, you think you want to move onto the other side of me?" And we're looking like, "What?" He's like, "You're in my peripherals."
Now his peripherals. Here's what's funny.
The guy's wearing
Yeah,
glasses.
here's what's funny about it. I'll tell you what's funny about the peripherals, asshole.
Bob was pissed.
I was pissed. I was like, because bottom line, first off, we're not at Augusta, okay? We paid $25 to come play. We're not in your peripherals. And with his swing, before his swing, he would do a full 360.
It was so
I
ridiculous.
said, no shit, we're
and
in
I
your
think we
peripherals.
moved out of the way and he proceeded to shank one into the trees.
This
And then he's like,
guy's-
"Fuck, far right."
We're in his peripherals. He's doing a full 360s on top of the ball, just going. I'm thinking, where the fuck does this guy want me to go?
I looked at Bob. I was like, "Don't worry, we'll get out of your peripherals."
I was pissed. I said to him,
We literally, Scooty, we only had to move 2 feet to the left, and then he was happy.
I said to him on the turn, I said to him on the turn, I was getting pissed off. I said, "So what do you do for fun? Because it isn't golf." I feel like I was playing with Bob Knight. This guy was 65 and just fucking
Ready
angry.
to break a 9-iron over Bob's head after a fucking tee shot.
But the peripherals thing, I can't even pronounce it. I was holding on. When he said that, it was just enough.
At that
is
point, you
enough.
were done.
I was done. I was absolutely done.
To the point where I started actually saying good comments even when he made a bad shot because I knew it pissed him off.
Well, that was
so he
great.
shanked one off to the tree, Scooty, far right. It was one of his worst drives of the day, and it hit a little Kareem off the cart path and rolled back in. I was like, "Oh, that's a good bounce you got."
Yeah.
Guy looks over at me like he wanted to rip me fucking limb from limb.
Yeah.
I'm off brand a little bit with the golf. I don't play golf, so going into a group match or whatever, is there something where you know that guy is going to be a piece of shit?
Well, to answer that question, I just wouldn't play with him because it could just totally ruin a round. And the thing with the golf is, especially with the way the game's coming out, a lot of young people are out there, and even the older guys, they have a good time. One, I would say, every 10
The last bad one we
times.
had was Pete, the guy who used your fucking driver on the tee box
That's
and
a whole
almost
nother
broke it
story.
when he
That's-
shanked
I
the
feel like I'm
ball.
Larry David on the golf course.
It sounds like a Curb episode right
Yeah,
now.
this guy showed up and he wanted to use my clubs, and I didn't give a shit. They're older clubs. I don't care.
Wait, the same clubs that you're using?
Yeah.
You're
Same
sharing?
club, same.
The guy, well, he had some clubs, but he would ask Robbie to try his driver
And
or
by the
try
way,
his 3-wood.
it was shitty club, so I didn't really care.
That would drive me bananas.
It was because I need a club, and then he needs that same club,
No.
and I should have it should be me that takes the club. This kid would just take it and run, but he was just throughout the entire round, he was just obnoxious. He was running.
Remember the
loose.
last time when you got pissed? What he did?
Well, yeah. Then so we're all getting annoyed with him. This guy's just obnoxious, and it's a lot. And he takes my driver, and I think he just forgot that he was using somebody else's driver. Shanks it way right, and gets pissed that he shanks it and slams the club, just tomahawk.
And Robbie's standing there as this guy's. It's actually like a Entourage episode when Drama breaks Brady's club.
This guy.
That's
is
exactly what
just-
happened.
Yeah, just slamming the thing. And me, it's tough to get me really pissed off. What did I say to the kid?
You looked. What did you say? The fucking nerve of this kid.
I told you got some nerve.
Is that an under your breath thing, or are you directing
No, he
comments?
said it loud enough. When
Okay.
Bobby says that, when Bobby's at that confrontation mode,
Yeah.
he's ready to throw hands
Blood
because that
red
just
mat.
doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen to where you have to hit such a level of just being to where I'm always telling Cuts, calm down, just relax.
I'm the same
relax."
way.
Yeah,
it's
he
a
takes a
wants
lot.
he wants everybody to get along. So if he's at that level, that the guy absolutely deserves it.
Oh, without a doubt, and this guy deserved. But yeah, all I did, I said, this guy's got some nerve.
Yeah.
I said, this guy. And then I came back into the car and I said to Cutsy, what did I say? I said, am I wrong? How did I say it?
Yeah, you got all upset. You go, what am I the only one who sees this like this? And I'm like what? You go, this fucking guy. This fucking guy. You didn't even know what to say. You were like at a loss for words.
I couldn't believe it. This guy has no social awareness.
And I will say this too, and I'm not saying that I'm the most fun person or whatever, but when we go out there, me and Bobby, we make it a priority to get everybody else who's in the round to like feel good about themselves. Because if it's like a band of brothers going out there, everybody's pumping each other
for
up and stuff.
sure.
It makes it feel. It almost gives you that extra added boost you need to make to turn the game around.
Totally. It's like getting a base knock in baseball. If I hit a ball in the gap, I want to hear my bench going nuts. For me. Rather, if I hit a ball in the gap and it's crickets, to where you're looking at that shot, you're watching it, see it go towards the hole, and a couple good shots are coming.
Yeah.
I give the little it's great. It's great. It's so short.
It's like you don't want to.
Yeah.
It's like I hear you, but you don't want to overdo it.
Right. Like, we could do this from time to time. Total transition here. I was driving home. I stopped at Starbucks. These paninis that they got, I thought it would be like a snack panini. Not often do I think of getting a Starbucks panini. You could use this thing as a sandwich with chips. It's that good.
It's that big or that good?
It's that good. It's enough to where if you combo it with some chips, and Starbucks has some great chips. I don't know how we started talking about this.
You brought it up.
Starbucks. There is so few things that Starbucks has out front that there's so few things that I would think I would actually try.
I was just gonna say you're crazy for getting any type of food at Starbucks, even the little like lollipop.
Really?
cake thing.
No,
Oh,
Scooty,
no
I
chance
did.
I'm getting any of that stuff, guys.
Scooty,
I disagree
wow.
here.
That's a hot take. No, but Scooty looks more like a blue bottle kind of coffee guy.
You a blue bottle guy, Scooty?
I walk by Blue Bottle every day, and I go right to the Starbucks, and I get my vanilla latte that's overpriced $6. But I'm not getting any of the food, guys.
Confirmed it. Not a blue bottle
No,
guy.
no.
But Scooty, I think you're totally wrong here, and I get where you're going with it. By the way, the blue bottle breakfast sandwich.
They're great.
But it's all the same. You think it's somewhat same. Starbucks, you give these things a try. It's easy to knock them. Try the Starbucks.
You know what I always
panini.
get at Starbucks, and you've seen me when we go on trips. I get it. Is that their little parfait in the morning is really good.
You're a parfait. I wish I could get into the parfait.
You're not a parfait
move.
guy?
I would love to be. It just seems like such a good, classy move. It's light. Can't do it.
You can do it. Why can't you do it?
Well, I could eat it, but it just doesn't excite me.
I think it's great. You got a little bit of healthy atmosphere with the fruits and the if they do it with granola, that's good
No, but
too.
that's what I'm saying. It looks good. It looks great, and I bet Starbucks has a really good parfait.
Yeah, they do.
Scooty, have you tried a Starbucks salad?
What?
Try
A Starbucks salad?
These are the way that it's shaped. It looks like it's an airport salad.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. They're getting it straight off of the Delta airplane.
Scooty, it is so far from an airport salad, the Starbucks salad.
But I think you sometimes over exaggerate on how good salads are. Like you'll have the Trader Joe's Caesar salad, and he'll
Those
be
are
going
good.
nuts.
Those are good.
Are they that good?
They're pretty good.
It's a very good salad. It's a very
Like
good
to me,
salad.
it's still a salad though.
No, there's all different types. You got the steakhouse salads. You
What's
got the
Bobby's
grocery
favorite
store,
all-time
you got
salad?
Mixed salad.
Is it Caesar from a steakhouse?
Oh, gotta be a Caesar. Gotta be a Caesar. Not a big anchovy guy. I actually like a thick piece of romaine.
Okay.
I don't mind the thick piece of romaine.
You like it when they have it like that? You end up having to cut it into 20,000 pieces
As long
anyways.
as there's enough croutons there with the big romaine to match up to it.
What about the big croutons?
Well, if you get the small romaine, if you don't get the thick romaine, the crouton overpowers the romaine, and you never want your romaine to be overpowered.
I like Caesars. Never knew there were this many elements to a
Oh,
Caesar.
well,
Scooty
then you
there.
haven't even gone over the Parmesan cheese on top of the Caesar dressing. You sprinkle a little Parmesan.
Yeah, no issue with that.
That's
No
great
issue
too.
with that.
Or the lemon at
You know
the
what
end.
used to be my favorite Caesar salad. I've told you this before, and we had the best connection there, and they couldn't reopen because of COVID. They didn't have outside seating. Best connection we've ever had. Best Caesar we've ever
Grill on
had.
the Alley?
Grill on the Alley. Good for you.
Bill reached out to me.
Bill
Bill
was-
from the Grill now.
Bill from the Grill is the nicest
Oh no!
guy in the
Now
world.
it's Bill from the Grill who went to Ocean Prime. I
Bill
think
from the
is-
Grill got fired from the Grill, so Bill from the Grill now works at Ocean Prime, which is next from the Grill.
You say tomatoes, I say tomatoes.
Who's on first? What's on second?
Definitely not Bill.
How about Cutsy on fire this afternoon?
Lighten us up. I love it.
Absolutely on fire this
The
afternoon.
Unabomber just planting seeds
It's
everywhere.
Lululemon, by the way. Isn't this great?
Lululemon's great, but he's not talking the Unibot. He's talking about the glasses. You're talking about the
Oh,
glasses.
Talking
no?
glasses, yeah.
Glasses,
sungla-
aviators.
Listen,
no?
Yeah.
you know the good thing about you kind of got the whole Howard Stern thing going
I
on.
feel good. I just feel comfortable.
Well,
I got
I
my
actually-
jacket on.
I,
my-
Okay.
you know, the beauty of the
My
glasses,
glasses, I feel
is
chill.
It at the same time too, especially with pockets, it's kind of like a shield for you. Like
yeah, I feel like I'm like in the zone.
yeah, that's kind of the white elephant in the room about glasses. People inside, like they just want a shield. I love the shield play. I don't blame. To be honest,
Now
I'm
they're
jealous-
easier to get than before because of all the pandemic reasons. You could get a fucking shield just off the streets.
Yeah, but yeah.
The ones Jerry wears.
Yeah, but at the same time too, if you wear those sunglasses, the beauty of the sunglasses, if you could get through those initial jabs of people taking of you wearing sunglasses inside, withstand those flu blows because they're gonna take some shots at you, then you're protected the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you feel protected right now?
I don't, and you know this. I don't actually normally wear sunglasses. It's very rare.
Yeah, but I almost
I like
think,
them in the studio, the lights and stuff. I feel better. With
I
them on.
almost think a guy like Howard Stern, okay, prefers the sunglasses because he can go in and in a way he's kind of got that shield in a way to where he almost. Am I wrong here?
It's like
Scoop?
wearing them to a poker table.
Well, it's the Big Daddy theory, right? Kind of invisible when you put the sunglasses on.
Yeah,
That's
that's
true.
Great movie, by the way. Sandler's
flick.
finest.
You know what Cold Cut said we should do is we should label hats instead of doing the brilliantly dumb hats because it is a lot of words. You don't know if you space between the brilliantly and the dumb, and it's kind of confusing. He had two things. One I thought was ridiculous. One I actually kind of like. Do you want the ridiculous one, Cold Cuts, or do you want the?
No,
one-
give them both. Give them both.
But which one do you want first?
The ridiculous one, because then we end on a good note.
The ridiculous one, he said that we should do brilliantly dumb on the merch, but take away the B at the end of brilliantly dumb. So he wants that. Now I get where he's going with that
a good
brilliantly
play
dumb.
on things.
Like you can't add the D. Like you forgot to add the
Right.
D. You're
'Cause
dumb.
you're dumb.
But it means a total rebranding. We got the Brilliantly Dumb LLC. Had no idea what that was a couple months ago, but a couple people told me you got to get an LLC. I went ahead
Well, you
and
think someone else is going to do Brilliantly Dumb without a B LLC?
Do you know how ridiculous I looked walking into Bank of America to get the Brilliantly Dumb LLC? It was ridiculous. They had everybody that came by, she had to go and get a manager to do the codes and certain stuff at the time.
What were you wearing for that meeting?
I looked ridiculous. The shorts. I looked,
See, that's the
Probably
problem. If
looked
you
like-
went in there with a suit or something, they would probably have taken you a lot more seriously.
you know what somebody said to me recently that just drove me? I mean, that one stung. He's like, you kind of dress like Adam Sandler. I was like,
That's a
"That is-
heavy shot.
That's awful.
That
Did
shot's
you see
fired.
Adam's-
Sadler with the basketball shorts back in the day that would hang
still
down
does
past
them.
his
Yeah,
knees?
still does.
But Adam Sandler can dress like Adam Sandler because he's Adam Sandler. Me, if somebody comes up to me and says you dress like Adam Sandler,
You did used to have a pair of those and one shorts that were a bit
still
much.
have them.
It looked like he was getting ready to hit Venice for a fucking, little pickup basketball on the beach. I He's wearing those and one basketball shorts, and he's wearing flip flops.
I think the only and one basketball shorts that are left are all in Venice Beach. I think every single one is in Venice
or
Beach.
in your closet.
You know when it's really bad too is I've had the shorts so long that they're too big on. They were too big on me, and I tied a knot. But the knot is so firm throughout the years that I just never decided to take them. Do you have that with the shorts to where sometimes you have shorts where they're already knotted?
Yeah.
And for some reason,
And how annoying is the shorts where the strings come out of the little holes, but somehow the string goes back inside, and you're trying to pinch
that's the
the
worst.
side to get the string
Yep.
back through. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, but I want to. This is
You ever
interesting.
wear like say some sweatpants will have them or PJ pants? They have the two strings that you tie, like you tie your laces. They're laces that you tie, right? So you tie a knot to keep your pants up. But there's a little hole that the lace goes through, and sometimes it will get stuck on the other side, and you're trying to reach in to grab that lace
so where
out.
does that go? What is holding up
It
that
just
other
kinda-
part of the
It
string?
goes
from
into the
getting
pant tunnel, man.
The pant tunnel of
and
no
you-
return.
Yeah.
So, but the pant tunnel is open.
yes.
Yeah, have you never worn a pair of like a pair of basketball shorts or something like that, where there's the strings that go through, like the Jordan? They have the strings
Right,
that
but
go through.
that's down the center. Where is
Yeah,
the
but
pant
on the
tunnel?
side of each side of the pant, there's holes where the strings go through.
Think about how the strings have to come out of the pants.
They
There's
go
two
from
holes.
one way all the way to the other way.
But
He's
one
not getting
string
it.
would no, but I am. But one string wouldn't hold up the other string. You're telling me it's going into the hole?
It's one continuous rope around. I mean, cold
It's a
cuts. What are we
rope.
gonna do with this kid?
I don't know, Bobby. You have a pair of pants, right?
Right.
The rope or the string needs to go through one side and come all the way around the pants through the other side.
Correct.
So it's only one string.
I see what you're saying.
So then,
okay.
if the string sometimes starts pulling this way, you want to pull it back out so that it doesn't stay in the side of the pants.
So that's actually good to know because pretty much what you're saying is that lace is kind of like a hula hoop.
You didn't
Yes.
know that?
No idea. Well, I never.
It's horrible pant architecture, but it happens.
There's
You
got
thought
to
it
be a
was-
better way to go about
You
it.
thought there was two strings?
Well, the problem I have with it is now if you break one part of the hula loop, you ain't getting the hula loop back.
No.
So same thing with that string. They should make it to where a lot of the times the hole gets sucked in by the
You
string.
might be onto something here. Where the string, the laces come in,
Right.
interjected is what you're saying.
Once that is in the hole, there's no once it's there, it's gone. There's no getting it back really.
Well, that's what we're saying. That's the most annoying part of it.
And that's what's happened to like a lot of my even my sweatshirts. I have that same issue.
Happens
Like,
with
so you
hoodies
see
too.
the string that you're
Yep.
wearing on your hoodie right now? The same
Yeah.
thing could happen.
There you
If
go,
on the
Joey.
hoodie, look at your hoodie. You see the string?
Is it starting to happen?
No, it's still long enough, but I'm saying there's times where you look and you're like, oh, I better even that out because you don't want it to.
Let me ask you this: at what point in my string would you even out? Seriously, because sometimes it goes down.
More. Okay, now at this point, you got to even out at this point.
To where how many more days do you think I have till it gets back up, sucked up the
I don't
the
even
other?
I don't even give it a chance. I just realign it right away.
I feel like a lot of guys have it to where it's not fully in the center, and that I'm okay with. It's as soon as it gets up, there is where I'm having some problems to where then it might get sucked out.
Yeah, it's got to be higher.
But back to what we were saying about so that was the horrific idea about the brilliantly dumb thing.
Yeah.
Okay, well that actually was kind of brilliantly dumb right there. But back to what we were saying about that Colcutt's other idea, which I kind of like, is to make merchandise easier. Just instead
logo.
of brilliantly dumb, a logo that says BD.
You know-
Problem with the big D is, problem with BD is big dick.
Big dick. Yeah.
And
yeah.
who wants to be the guy walking around with?
Who doesn't want to be that guy?
No, but it's obnoxious.
Well, it doesn't say it. It's just a logo. It could be on a black hat like that with the black or white logo.
Perfect example, actually. Nobody's gonna want to do that. Jack Arnold, the grill master.
Yeah.
He said, check the mail. He sent me something in the mail. He's nuts. He got me a hat that said, in wording, Big Dick Bob. And I said,
No way.
"Yeah, I'll show you the hat. I'll bring the hat in." I said, when am I ever going to wear this? Like, it's not even, when am I ever going to wear this? Somebody seems to
Well,
walk
that's why
around-
the BD does. It's not obnoxious. It doesn't say that.
No, it doesn't say that, but, I mean, Scooty, when you think of Big D, I mean...
Can't get it off the brain here.
You see what I mean?
Jesus
That's why you're
Christ.
not going to want to buy the BD brilliantly dumb hats. All your
Here's my question for you guys. Why do you think brilliantly dumb is too long? It's not supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Yeah, no,
yeah,
I'm
but
sure.
let me ask you this, Scooty. Do you space out the brilliantly and dumb?
I'd layer it. I'd go brilliantly dumb up top, or brilliantly dumb, and then maybe you don't even have.
Oh,
show.
you know what we should do? Like the Brooks Koepka Nike hat. You should just down the center, just brilliantly dumb. All
Do you
the
know
way
how,
down.
yeah.
You know how Koepka had the hat that said Nike going down
Yeah,
the side? You
yeah.
could just do brilliantly dumb right down the middle of the cap.
Well, that guy from golf today would have thought that it's in his peripherals, the B on the end of that brilliantly dumb, that piece of shit. Yeah, I mean, but when I think Big D, I mean,
Jesus.
when I think BD, I think Big Dick.
Yeah. I
Clearly.
You know, like I always want to say like the brilliantly dumb faithful or say like the BD faithful.
Yeah.
But then it sounds like I'm saying the Big Dick faithful.
I think you're overthinking it.
I probably am overthinking it.
Maybe you just do call him the Big Dick Faithful.
Maybe you
Fuck
do.
it.
Maybe you possibly do.
Yeah. First follower, Nick Foles.
Well, folks, now cold cuts. What's the story? Are we going to we're going to Javier's tonight?
Javier's tonight. Yeah.
You know what I love about Javier's and Casa Vega, another Mexican spot that we go to, is it is a thin chip, and I think the chips and salsa, which is one of the best parts of the Mexican restaurant experience, it's the best. It comes out, you get the margarita going with it. I like a thin chip. You know what I mean?
Crispy.
Yeah, I think a lot of these places do those thick, triple layered type
It's
chips
too,
and salsa.
Too much, like too doughy.
You a thin chip guy?
Yeah.
And what? Go ahead.
I mean, I like the chips when you can tell they're baked. And they have a little of that seasoning salt on the top of them.
Right.
That's when you know the chip is good.
Like you like the Javier chip, no?
Yeah, I do. I think that the guacamole play is not the play at Javier's.
Well,
Because I think the salsa's so good, you're actually okay with. And by the time they bring the guacamole out, you've already had like almost a whole of those little cases of chips.
True.
Already.
You know what?
So then you're like, well, now I can't have guacamole by itself.
You know what?
So you're firing into more chips.
This is gonna sound a little weird, but I'll be the first to tell you. When me and Joey Cold Cuts go out to dinner, and even if we're with multiple people, Cold Cuts does the ordering because Cold Cuts is a restaurant guy, and you know how much stuff to get, what to get, and then we like going back and forth and critiquing how you did. As far as
I can't blame you for letting me do it. It'd be like if you had a friend who was really good at betting, and
But-
you're like, you know what? You take today's games, unlike you.
But Lauren-
you say you take today's games. I'm gonna be in on it with you. So you're there for the experience. You don't have to do any of the hard work. You get just to reap the benefits.
like
it's
Lauren-
basically what you get to
Lauren
do.
thinks that it's weird that you order for me when me and you go out. I got no issue with it.
Well, we do family style too
gotta
most
do
of the time.
family
I was gonna
style.
say if you're ordering straight up the entree,
Yeah, that's too much.
100%.
too much.
But when we do family style, Scooty, I'll just order everything for the table.
I respect that, and I like that because I get finicky with my menu. I don't know what to get.
Yeah.
If someone's just ordering for the table, I will enjoy.
When we go out for the appetizer, we'll start with the chips and guac. And here's where I disagree with that. 9 times out of 10, you're going to be getting guac in your meal. Okay?
Yeah.
And I'll double down even with the appetizers.
What if I want guac? I gotta reach over to your plate because you got the enchiladas that came with guacamole.
True,
I'm gonna
true.
scoop some of your guacamole off your plate.
Fair, but the thing with the Mexican restaurant appetizers is the appetizers are always the same thing as the entree. The taquitos are on the appetizer, but then taquitos are
That's true.
You know what I mean? They got the chimichangas on the appetizer. The chimichangas are always on the entree.
Now
too.
you know when the guacamole is worth the purchase
Go
when
ahead.
they do it tableside. Because everything
No
always feels
question.
better when it's
No
tableside.
question.
Yeah, I could have the same Caesar salad, Scooty. I swear on my life, I could have the same Caesar salad that was plated from the back, or something that was done right in front of me. And 10 times out of 10, I'm saying the one that's tableside is
for
better.
sure,
It
for
just
sure.
tastes better.
To
It's
where
fresher,
I
and it
act-
could have the same taste.
Yeah, we went to a place, a really popular place that's pretty much known for their Caesar, and they do the whole theatrics on the Caesar salad, which I love. But I actually said I think they're getting away with a little bit here because they do that preparation and the
A
experience.
little too much lemon in the.
Yeah, you could come out with anything. I think.
So you're making a claim that if somebody's doing something
Yeah.
tableside, that people are more willing to forgive you if you don't do it as good.
you give it more credit to where, they do the tableside Caesar salad. Why don't you just bring
Well, it'd
every
be like,
dish?
well, how about if somebody's deboning your fish for you and they leave a
Totally.
bone in the spine? You're not gonna be like, well, it's still pretty good
or
job.
The bronzino that's sliced and diced tableside is a memorable bronzino, whether the actual bronzino was good or not.
It's true.
But here's what I think you do. Maybe just bring out an appetizer, no matter what dish you bring out, do a tableside.
Or
You
why
know-
don't you start somebody off with something forced tableside that they're so impressed by the time you finish, they have to charge it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, well, we took the liberty of bringing this. Oh, after that performance,
Oh, you have to.
charge us double.
You want Franks in the blanket? You make the Franks in the blanket table side. Whatever you got to do.
You like the tableside service?
Love the table side servers. It adds the theatrics to it. I would actually hire the extra server, the extra amount of staff, and do more things table side.
The best tableside thing I think we had was when Big Maple made us those fucking old fashions.
These old fashions.
At Cedar Smoked. So he had the wood there, Scooty.
Yeah,
He
that's
started
great.
the flame and he had
Great
it trapped
old-fashioned.
inside this, crystal, like rocks glass. It just looks so nice. You don't even want to drink out of it. The smoke from the cedar starts rising up. He captures it, throws in like the Macallan 18 in there.
And by the way,
Oh,
Scooty,
it was
this was
phenomenal.
at Wolfgang Puck Steakhouse
At Cut.
at Four Seasons where we worked at. So we knew the Big Maple. He's part of our crew. It is a restaurant we had no business eating.
I'll
in.
never go back after that meal. Nothing will ever be as good.
But we had no business eating it, and the people knew the way we were dressed, the way we had no business being there. But the Big Maple who worked there, he was assistant GM. He came out. It's like there was nobody else in the restaurant. It
Let me-
He
was
told
me-
Fat Joe he had to sit to the table next to us because he had reserved it already.
Let me ask you this: is Hibachi Grill tableside?
Oh, it's such
Oh,
a
that's-
Scooty, to have you behind the ones and twos
Is
on
this
the
a
ground.
really
Grandmaster?
good.
I mean, this is what this
It
podcast
is.
needed.
In essence, it's tableside. Yes.
Gotta be.
But it's not the tableside you guys are talking about.
But you know
you guys
what?
are like fancy boys with the tableside here.
No, I'm talking about you could do it for a Michelin star restaurant, or that's a very good point. You could do it for Benihana's. For what you're actually getting product-wise, quality-wise, it's not that great. It's elevated tenfold because of the hibachi experience.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah.
And they
no,
get
you're
away
right.
with it, and they can know that they can get
Kind of like the table side.
It's
Caesar
entertainment.
salad. 100%. At the same time, I do actually think they hold their own to where you actually get the food. The problem is if you just want to go and have a dinner, you don't want all the theatrics.
Like, so you're not a guy who the sommelier brings a bottle of wine out, and he's waiting for you to do your assessment. You're terrible in that position, no?
I don't know what I'm looking for. I mean, how often does somebody try the wine and it's not for me?
Not often. Showtime might do that.
Showtime would probably do that for sure. And I would be humiliated. If I'm at a table where somebody sends it back after them opening the wine. And another thing, presentation, wine, great presentation. They don't bring it out on a platter. They come out to you, they show it.
Well.
Everything should be presented tableside.
And they'll
in the
actually,
restaurant.
the good waiters, when they open the bottle of wine, they'll put the cork down. So I'm going to smell the cork, but it's done with such finesse and so eloquently. It's like, that's really nice.
The problem I have with it is if the guy comes to me and we're with multiple people, the whole table knows that I don't know what I'm looking for. And you want to take this guy, the server, he's dead serious. You want to, show him. Everybody's looking at you and they know I have no idea what I'm looking for.
But yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, again, you're an F&B guy. It's a little bit.
But you're in show business. You should be able to get away with some theatrics.
But you know what you did when one day I was eating at the Peninsula.
Yeah.
Okay, where you work. My cousin brought you over there. So many years there, 5-star, nicest hotel. You were, and the thing with Joey Coldcuts, everybody sees Joey Coldcuts golfing. You see him outside, the crazy outfits. Like when Coldcuts goes into work, there's a different switch. He's not the same person. And that's not a bad thing.
I go into beast mode.
He does. He goes into 5-star service. He flips it.
I was just gonna say I appreciate that.
Yeah.
When someone can turn it on and go into work mode, like that's a hustler. I like that.
For sure.
It's like an actor going on stage. As soon as the
Correct.
curtain opens, that's it. You're ready.
Like my manager at the Four Seasons, mind you, it's 5-star hotel. She was worried about me as a manager because I was always just laughing and bullshitting and shooting the shit to where every time she came out, people were smiling, fucking around. To where Colcuts comes in there and he wreaks havoc. But you were busting a server's balls because they didn't, and I'm a big water guy. It was an Evian bottle of water.
Yeah.
Okay, and you said don't pour Evian with the ice, which is a 5-star thing to know. So what about the ice?
I mean, you're giving filtered water into ice, which is frozen, unfiltered water. It removes the element of getting bottled water to begin with.
Is that unbelievable, Scooty?
I mean, one, that's service, and two, he's absolutely correct. You can get tap water on ice, and it tastes delicious, but you can't put bottled water onto
To the
ice.
point where, like, you're wasting your money by buying the bottle of Evian to pour it over ice. If you're really buying water for the essence of the purity of the water being filtered or not filtered, then you definitely are not going to get it poured over ice.
But you know what bothers me then?
What?
I mean, every now and then I treat myself to a Fiji water, and I always pour it in ice.
Well, then I don't know. I'll tell you what. After the Fiji's done, fill it up with regular water, put it in the fridge, and then fill it over ice the next time around because it's just as good after you do that.
That's terrible. To where it totally. Do you know how many dollars I've spent on Fiji water, all to find out that I haven't even really been drinking Fiji water?
Well, you've been drinking a blend, LA's finest mixed with Fiji's own.
Is it like having a Dr. Pepper and mixing it with an orange soda? Like, how much of a mix?
No, it's not. It'd be like mixing a diet Dr. Pepper and a regular Dr. Pepper.
You know, there's certain classes of water to where, like, I actually noticed that I like spring water a lot more than other waters. And I'll be honest with you, I think you could put a spring water in front of me. I think you can put a filtered water in front of me. I think I'll be able to tell you the spring water.
I doubt it.
I do.
We should set up a test like Portnoy did with what was it that he was trying?
Pizza, was it? Or the chicken sandwich?
He's done wine. He's done cheeseburgers.
Yeah,
he's testing all sorts.
But
of
you
things.
should do one with water, and you should do one with Caesar salads.
Yeah.
And you should do one with bagels. I mean, why are we not doing this?
We were having this conversation
great
the other day,
idea.
Robbie, about what would you spend a little extra money on, and for me, it's bottled water. I'll go in there and I'll spend $3 for a bottle of water because I think it's worth it.
I like that, to where, like, you really don't have a concept of money.
Mm-hmm.
I think people who typically buy bottled water, like on the regular, are people who don't use public restrooms.
I don't use public restrooms, so you're spot on with it.
How did you nail that? That's pretty good.
Well, you're clearly worried about the sanitary levels to the next degree. So you're not gonna, if you're not gonna subject yourself to drinking tap water, you don't want to be using a public restroom that other people are using.
No, but to me, that's not necessarily it, to where I enjoy the flavor of water. I mean, I know that sounds ridiculous, but
It
I
has
really
no
think,
flavor.
No, but there's certain sandwiches I like to mix with a certain bottle of water, to where if it's like a deli sub,
That is the most ridiculous
crazy.
thing I ever.
Yeah.
So if you're going to Bay Cities, then God forbid you got to get Essentia.
Bay Cities, I would probably mix it with Trader Joe's spring water. 100%.
so-
100%. Where if it's
You're
East
treating
Coast,
it like wine.
if it's East Coast, I like a deli sandwich with a Poland Spring water. Poland Spring was always my favorite. Not to say I won't have a different type of water, but like,
Now I have a question for you.
yeah.
You go over to somebody's house, one of your buddies, right? You're like shooting the shit, watching the game or whatever, and you say, "Hey, can you get me a water?" If he's like, grab one from the fridge, and you go in the fridge and you see Arrowhead water,
No, I'm not.
or you see Aquafina or something that you
Oh.
really don't like, are you still grabbing the water, or are you going to be like, you know what, I'm good?
No, but no. I'll drink that water. 100%. I even will have those. I'd prefer, something else. Where it really gets interesting, what I've done a couple times, and it's a ballsy move, is when somebody has like their filtered bottled water, like they'll have Aquafina.
Yeah.
And then next to the Aquafina, they splurge on whether it be one of those big Fiji bottles, one of those electrolyte water bottles, something like that. I have had times I have had times where I take the Fiji bottle. And I know it's nervy doing it, and
Why would you do that?
it's such a good water. It's such a
I
good
think
water.
Fiji's
I'd
the
fight
best.
you over that. I would fight you.
And you'd be so right, to where if you called me on it, I would take it on the chin, because it's a nervy. I would be, if somebody did it and I'd be like, that's a ballsy play.
You're saying if they go into your fridge and you have a bunch of Aquafina water, but you got that one shining bottle
That
of
is
Fiji,
horrendous.
Yeah, I fight you.
For sure, especially.
That's terrible that you would take that. He's done it to me before.
I have. Oh, it's
done it
all
to me, but
coming
it was
out.
with-
Why
yeah.
didn't you say? You could have said something.
I couldn't believe it.
How come you never said that to me?
I went to go back in Scooty after the game was done. He had left like an hour ago. I go in the fridge to come grab the bottle. I'm like, what the and I look over and I'm like, motherfucker, this guy drinks more water than I think is humanly possible.
It's unbelievable.
It's ridiculous. Like, I'll be like, here's a bottle of water. And before I know it, I'm not even done my bottle of water and he's on his second one and he's at the same fucking rate I am.
So he took it and ran. He wasn't even swigging it like right in your grill.
Oh, no, yeah. I don't
Swig and
know.
run.
I will say,
Swig and run.
we have such a good friendship that I would only do it to such a select few people.
Fair.
Cold cuts was one of them.
There's not many things he takes out of my fridge because there's nothing in the fridge.
Yeah, he's got it-
so
yeah,
it's,
yeah.
So it's water, and then where he does get me is he goes in the freezer, and the Cutsy freezer selection is a different ball game. Cutsy freezer selection
got a
compared
good
to
freezer
Cutsy's fridge selection, it's night and day. It's like going from you know
what I've taken a look into your freezer, and something I think you do very well you're very selective on your frozen pizza. I think your frozen pizza knowledge is great. A lot of times in people's freezer, they make the mistake of doing one of those monster DiGiorno pizzas. I've made that mistake, and
I actually taught you. I put you on the Red Baron.
Red Baron, by the way, is
you
something...
were talking trash about it. Then I make the pizzas. He goes, "Yeah, I don't do Red Baron pizzas." We're watching the Jets game. It's bad enough as it is.
Yeah.
I try to give the guy a pizza, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't." So I made the extra one for myself because of the little ones. The guy fucking ends up eating half the pizza, and then he goes, "That was so good." And the next time I went over to his house, he had Red Baron pizzas in his fucking freezer.
And with the Red Baron pizzas, it's not a huge pizza to where you could put that in the air fryer. You're looking at 5 minutes till
That's
thing.
nice.
5 minutes you could put that in there, and it's got a little bit of a char on the top of it.
The air fryer is like the Ferrari of cooking utensils, no?
If you ask me, yeah. I mean, Gordon Ramsay may disagree. I certainly think so.
I have a buddy who just bought an air fryer, and he is air frying literally everything.
Yeah.
He can't get away from the air fryer.
And I got news for you. I really don't think it's a phase to where, I think your buddy is going to be on that air fryer.
He's locked in.
Bobby's now going through this fucking grocery store looking for shit to fry. He's going through the fucking vegetable section. Those carrots look small enough. Yeah, no problem. We're gonna put not the alfalfa sprouts in there. Fucking
now, Scooty, what does he put in the air fryer though?
Like I said, pretty much everything. But he's kind of a weird guy. He was doing straight up just unseasoned chicken breast, and he was putting it in the air fryer and eating that.
That's
unseasoned.
Unseasoned.
But I bet you it would come out with a little bit of a char on it though.
It had a little crisp to it.
It had a little crisp.
Yeah.
It does that with
you
the
don't even put olive oil on it. At least make an effort.
There's
man.
such a range. One day I'll have salmon in there. The next I'll have a fully loaded baked potato.
Now, could you do ribs in there?
You could, but that's a psycho.
I think
move.
you can do anything.
No,
in an air fryer.
you can.
I really do.
Why is it psycho?
Well, the ribs is come on, that's a little pushing it. I think just in the air fryer
Why? 'Cause you
community.
need the smoke.
I think it's known in the air fryer community that you don't do the ribs, and that might be
who makes those rules.
No, nobody. But
You say the air fryer community. It's like the governor, dude.
my old boss actually put ribs in the air fryer, and I said to him, I said, "No, you put the ribs in the air fryer." He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "You're okay with that? How did that turn out?" And it was kind of I downed him, and he's a big grill guy.
Yeah.
And I guess he liked it.
If you're getting a nice fillet or a nice New York or T-bone, are you putting it in the air fryer?
No.
Although I would say, while I got you, I will say to put it on the grill and maybe try. I'd be curious to see what comes out.
You get a nice fillet or a nice ribeye, you got to clean your regular grill. You got to make sure you're doing everything that you possibly can to give that the right cooking environment.
But that's the thing too, especially in LA. Barely anybody's got a grill.
Mm-hmm.
There's no space for them. Where are you gonna put it?
Connolly just had steaks thaw out for the past 2 weeks in the studio here.
Or the Doug Allen steaks?
I came in, because they just get sent a ton of stuff. I came in, it just fucking reeked. We're running that meeting. We're sitting there in that meeting, and I'm just ripping. It just smells like steaks going up my nostrils.
I got one more thing on the kitchen appliances.
Yeah.
Are you guys big fridge organizers, or are you just throwing your products everywhere?
Yes and no, if this makes sense. When I'm fresh off, I don't go grocery shopping very often.
I cut you.
Just
I've
let me
seen that
finish.
fridge. I'd like to see the yes part of that question.
Let me just say, Bobby knows, as I say, I rarely go grocery shopping. So when I do, it's a big event. I come back, and when I go grocery shopping, I spend $200-$300. So I have room to make myself feel better to put stuff in the fridge. So when I finish grocery shopping for about 2 days, maybe 3, I'll have that thing nice and organized, and because I finally have stuff in there, and then it's slowly, it's like a desert. It just slowly, the food disappears, and then over time, there's a thing of fucking hummus, 2 Modelo's, a half cut lemon, It's like, and then all condiments. Every condiment you could ever possibly have
So
is
true.
in my side
And
drawer.
Cutsy's got some purchases, especially in his freezer, that you see them and you think, okay, he was probably hungry at the time of him grocery shopping, or it was just this decision that probably seemed real cool.
You know
at
the good
time.
one is? I got those Wagyu steaks. They've been in there for like months.
Well, but the one that you'll never have, you got a French onion, a frozen French onion soup in the freezer, and I could see, Scooty said, "Oh, like
It was from Trader Joe's. It's pretty good.
But what I say is, I could see being in the grocery store, seeing it, especially if you're a little hungry.
Ah,
man,
yeah.
Maybe I'll start with the French onion soup.
I did one and I
You
never
were-
did
you
another.
were never gonna start with the French onion soup, and it was 2 different French onion soups in one package.
Yeah, so I'd had one, but I had one left over.
It was ridiculous. It was 2 in one. It's like they were ice pops.
I like the from Trader Joe's. They have the good little shumai, little dim sum.
Yeah, they do. But those are some things that end up, being lost, and it's the shumai is great. Trader Joe's does some things. We got a new hire, Hakeem, and he works at the Trader Joe's. And I asked him if I could interview him, and he was like surprised that I asked him if I could interview him. And I said, I just love Trader Joe's.
It'd
so
be a good
much.
interview.
Be a great interview. I would have so many Trader Joe's questions. There is like a black market, not really a black market because they do it all over. There are Trader Joe's items that are so good, but they're seasonal, to where people crave them so much that people come, they buy 50 of them
It's
at one
like the
time,
McDonald's with the McRib.
and will sell them on eBay.
I still don't even know if I believe you on this, man.
Hakeem agreed with me.
On
He knows it for a
eBay?
fact. They sell these
Who's
items.
that desperate? They're buying the Trader
Who
Joe's
is the Trader
signature.
Joe reseller?
You
Who is that
had-
person?
If you had their butternut squash mac and cheese.
Maybe
Now-
it's Bobby low key.
No, I'm not a butternut squash guy, but if you have had
Corn
this
bisque?
thing, it is unbelievable, and it's somewhat healthy for you. People buy tons of these during the fall, and they resell them. Beyond me how they ship them, but they resell them. Scooty, did you hear when I asked Hakeem? I said, can you come? Do you mind coming on the show?
I wasn't there for that. I didn't know you asked for a full interview.
Yeah.
I'm down with it. I think it's a good idea.
I did,
Yeah.
and he was like, why do you want to interview? And I told him that I am fascinated by Trader Joe's, but no Trader Joe's tonight. We got to go to Javier's. Scooty, we just, let it rip here, let it fly. How deep are we?
We're well beyond an hour.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have enjoyed this. We hope you have enjoyed this. We appreciate every one of you. Scooty Wilson behind the glass on
Yeah,
the
you've been
ones
great,
and twos.
Scooty. It's great.
Fantastic. And Scooty,
It's like having a good goalie behind you. You know that you're in good
sure.
you're in good shape.
I want a ranking. Give me a 1 through 10. This is my first appearance on the Brilliantly Dumb Show. Give me a ranking. But
ahead.
obviously, hey, I need
Cuts,
some room to
cuts.
grow. I need some room to grow.
I'd say for your first episode, I'm giving you an 8.5, 8.6, easy.
Wow. Okay.
I think it's great.
I got news for you. I would even go higher to where I don't know where you miss, Scooty. I really don't. I think you're a phenomenal addition here to the Brilliant Dumb Show. That's Scooty Wilson on the glass behind the ones and twos. You got Joey Cold Cuts. Taking off, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you listening forever and always. Let's keep the train rolling. This does it here for another episode of the Brilliant Dumb Show.